every human mind carries two distinct voices. One is the voice of the devil, a constant whisper of logic and pragmatism which tells us to stick to the familiar, to stay in the comfort zone, and to dismiss any ideas that challenge our view of reality. On the other side, there is the voice of God, a powerful force of inspiration which makes us believe we can transcend societal limits of what is considered impossible. These momentary brightness is, however, quickly outweighed by logic, which makes our ideas feel increasingly delusional. In this video, you will learn how to fully embrace the voice of God, allowing you to overcome limiting beliefs and finally believe in yourself to the point where other people will call you delusional. Because only delusional people can rise above mediocrity, and in the end, they are the ones who achieve the impossible. In the Bible, there is a story of disciples who worked hard all night, casting their nets into the water, but they caught nothing. After many work hours with no results, they saw someone standing on the shore. It was Jesus. He called out to them, asking if they had caught any fish. They replied that they hadn't caught anything all night. Then Jesus advised them to throw the nets on the right side of the boat. The disciples listened, and after doing so, they suddenly caught so many fish that they couldn't even pull the net back into the boat. Now, think about the disciples' boat as a reflection of your own mind. The left side of the boat, where they caught nothing, represents lack. It symbolizes the part of our brain, the left hemisphere, that is obsessed with logic, reason, and evidence. It makes us question every idea that we come up to. How will this happen? When will it happen? And the truth is, you won't be able to know the answer to all those questions right ahead. Esoterically speaking, the left hemisphere is where doubt lives. Think about it as the voice of the devil, the inner skeptic that demands all the certainty in the world before taking any step to materialize your dreams. As long as you're stuck in this way of thinking, where everything needs to make sense and fit into a logical framework, you are the prisoner of your own mind, and you'll remain in a state of lack because you're limiting yourself only to what you can see, measure, and predict. Then, there's the right side of the boat, the side of what we can call the abundance, where the nets become full. This represents the right hemisphere of the human brain, which is responsible for creativity, spirituality, and ambition. This is the part of you that believes in things before they happen, that puts faith over logic, and makes you come up with ideas that can be viewed as delusional. It's the voice of God, the highest level of consciousness within you that whispers, "Just trust." The truth is, if you only stay stuck in the left hemisphere, you'll never be able to manifest what you truly want. It's only when you shift your focus to the right, the side of faith and imagination, that you allow yourself to access the endless potential waiting for you. When you stop needing to know exactly how and when everything will happen, you give yourself the possibility to materialize your dreams. The moment you let go of the need for everything to make sense is the moment in which you give magic the space to exist. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that what you have seen so far is all there is. But here's the thing. There are no whole truths. All truths are half-truths. It is trying to treat them as whole truths that play the devil. What you perceive with your eyes, your logic, and your reasoning is only a very small part of reality. And yet, this is exactly what we base our limiting beliefs on, what is visible and what can be measured. The seen world, what most people call reality, is just a fraction of the full picture. Science has proven that the human eye can only see a tiny portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why our logical brain, the left hemisphere, processes the world through a narrow lens of rationality, carefully holding on to what feels safe and known from our past experiences, refusing to believe in anything beyond what we can see or explain. We look at our circumstances and say, "This is the truth," not realizing that the truth we hold tightly to is only a small piece of the bigger puzzle. Then, there is a very small fraction of individuals that play their game on a completely different level, by placing all of their trust and energy in the unseen. These people base their beliefs not on what is directly in front of them, but on a much larger, unseen reality, which makes them believe in possibilities that haven't yet materialized, to trust in outcomes that others can't see. They are the ones who are being called delusional, but in reality, they're basing their beliefs on a far more expansive view. Whenever you find yourself in a state where you're trying to rationalize every little detail, remember this. It's the voice of the devil speaking through the logical part of your brain, trying to keep you stuck. It's the part of you that resists change, that chooses comfort and avoids the unknown at all costs. This voice is louder than those speaking of unlimited possibilities, making it feel like a delusion. It will constantly urge you to play it safe, to stick to what you can see and what makes sense. It's the voice that says, how is this going to work? When will it happen? What if it fails? These questions, which arise in the logical left hemisphere of the brain, seem harmless at first. They seem practical. But the truth is, they're designed to keep you exactly where you are, to deny your evolution. They are roadblocks between you and your desired reality, ensuring that you never go out of your comfort zone. The voice of logic, which feels so familiar, is actually the very thing preventing you from growing and evolving. Here's the key. The how or the when isn't really your concern. These are not questions meant for you to answer. Realize that manifestation is not about struggling to change things in the physical world, but about aligning your consciousness with your desired outcome. Once your inner beliefs resonate with the reality you want to create, everything will come to you by itself and you don't have to worry about it. The real work happens within your mind, not through forced actions or endless planning, and as you understand this, everything changes. By letting go of the need for concrete evidence, you're stepping into what we can call the unseen, into a world where mental reality shapes your physical reality, not the other way around. Your current life circumstances don't define who you are, but the reality you create in your mind does. The moment you can move beyond the devil's voice of logic and step into the unknown is the moment in which you'll realize that the only thing stopping you from achieving your desires is the illusion of what seems so real. So, the only way to truly get rid of limiting beliefs and evolve in life is to refuse to let the external world, this tiny, known fraction of your experience, gaslight you into being logical. The moment you start believing that what you see is the full picture, you've already lost. The external world, everything around you that seems so solid, so undeniable, is just a reflection of what's already been. It's outdated, it's limited, and most importantly, it's not the full truth. Remember, if you let logic drive you, you're letting limitations drive you. Logic is based on what's already been proven, on what's already known. And if you keep using the past as your map for the future, how can you ever expect to rise above mediocrity? But all of this is just the devil's voice that is keeping you locked into cycles of doubt and fear. It tells you to be realistic, to play it safe, and to wait for proof. If you really want to evolve in life, don't wait for evidence in the physical world. Create that evidence in your mind first, and hold on to it, even if everything around you seems to be falling apart. Because it's not the external world that defines who you are, but internal. To rise above, you have to be willing to believe in what you can't yet see. The external world is just the smallest part of the bigger picture. Don't let it control you. In conclusion, the only thing keeping you from evolving and creating a new, better reality is your own mind. As long as you keep relying on logic and what you see around you, you'll stay stuck in the same place, repeating the same known patterns, reliving the same old experiences. But once you decide to move beyond the limits of evidence and reason, that's when real transformation begins. You're not here to play it safe or stay small. You're here to rise above, to be called by others delusional. and in the end be the one that created the life which is impossible for others. Trust the unseen, align your mind with what you truly desire, and watch your reality shift.